Hey guys, welcome back to Rags and Stitches. This is part 3, video 3 of project number 1 for Miss Quilty, our project that we're working on for our cozy mosaic block. Okay, it's the block of the month. Okay, let's move on. Next step was our strips. We're going to start piecing our strips. So let's read the directions in our book here, and I'm going to move you around over here so you can get a good shot. Okay, so the next thing the book says, let's get our flower pen ready, is it says, and there is a note here about making sure about what footer and the narrow seams and all that. I've got a feeling I'm not going to be Miss Perfectionist on that. So that we're not going to go into too much. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is gather the 6 C rectangles. Well, if you're not sure what the C is, if you didn't mark them, you can go back to this page and find out where C is. And that is the 1.5 by 9 rectangles that we cut out. Okay, so let's get those together, gather them. We've got them right here. It's our big long strips, all the different fabrics. Okay, so we got those. Let's check that off. Arrange them in a color order that looks pleasing to you. Let your unique creativity spark you. This is your chance to make the project really your own. Okay, so we're going to arrange them, but how are we arranging them? Let me turn it over and see. Just like this, straight up and down. Okay, horizontally. All right, so let's put the book to the side and let's see how we want to make ours. This, of course, will be to your preference, just like it's to my preference. So let's look and see how we like these, what we think we want to do here. So we're going to be arranging them in this order. So let's see what looks pretty next to each other. Let's do, I love the florals. The florals. I think sticking a floral in between each one, and then maybe, I don't like the white there. I think the white should go right here. Let me see. Where do I want that one? I like that. So we're going to line them up all together. I like that. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so we've got them lined up how we like them. That's how I like them. Okay. So we can check that off. We placed them how we like them. Okay. Let's turn it over. Now, so the first 2 C rectangles in your arrangement, right sides together along the long sides. Okay. Along the long sides. Does that mean we're sewing both sides? Along the long sides. Well, I'm not sure. So the first 2 of your arrangement. Okay. So let's start with the flowers and the polka dots. And right side together. Okay. That. And do they mean sew both sides, guys? What do you think? I don't know. It says sew the first 2 right sides together along the long sides. Along the long sides. Well, we know they mean this way, but do we do both sides? That's my question. Okay, we're just going to do one side because it says next, press the seam to one side. So the next step is here. I think they mean, I'm sorry, guys. I think they mean just do one side. For now, we're just going to do one side because aren't we supposed to just, yeah, sew them all together? Okay. So let's start with this one. Right sides together, line them up. You could put a clip if you feel like you need to. Um, I'm not sure what I need to do. So we're going to do a 1/4 inch there, maybe a little less. Right on that corner there. I'm going to plug in my machine. I think I know what we're doing. I hope I know. We're going to learn as we go. Machine's ready. All right. So let's do this. Here we go. Got it. Got it. Right line. And of course, we're using this I forgot to mention the sticks in there. I'm using a number 2. It's just a running stick. Okay. Got that. And there is a way, I do realize there is a way. Gotcha. There is a way to just keep going. I want to try to do that. So there's one. So take the next 2 right sides together. Same thing. It's just telling us to keep going. And this one is a little wider and this one is a little narrower. We're going to line them up and we're going to try to do them in a row and see what happens. I see people do it all the time. I just don't know if I can, but I'm going to try it. Okay. Get the next 2. See how I left it there in the machine, and then I'm going to do the next. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I've always wanted to do this trick, and let me bring you closer. I've always wanted to do this trick, and I see them do it all the time, and I just never have tried. I think it's a good idea to use a pointer while you're doing this, just to hold things. I haven't done that, but I'm going to do it now. That's great. If we did that idea, I would see a guide on this guy the same person. Again, I'm learning. I'm also learning that my strips are not even. So that's going to pose a problem later. Let's see how that is. Now you can just cut there. I did it. Oh, look at that. I learned that trick. Okay. So now we're going to get ready to iron. I think. I don't know what we're doing yet. Let me see what the instructions. We've got them sewn together on one side so that if we opened it up, it'd be like that. Okay. So we've got it sewn together. All right. Let's see what my instructions say there. So we did this part. Press the seam to one side, which we're going to do in a minute. Sew the next seed in your arrangement to this unit. Oh, it's supposed to be sewing them together. That's okay. We can still do it. All right. So let's see. See. Okay. So the C rectangle. Okay. So we're going to stop right here and do something else here with it. So let's stop right here before we check anything else off. So what we were supposed to have done is do the first one, then open it up, press it, and then start adding them. But we didn't. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do it Let's just start by pressing this open. Let me move this. Let me plug my iron in. I was supposed to, oh shoot, I'm on my cord. I was supposed to sew it on as I went. But again, we're learning. It's trial and error. Okay, so now we're going to press this with the seam to one side. So we're going to open it up, turn it over, and we're going to press this seam to the opposite side. Yeah. Let's do it to the dark side. I'm just going to do it like that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to press that seam. And if I wasn't on video, I'd be a lot more, what's the word? Precise. But I'm on video and I'm trying to do this at the same time in this small area with this. It's not very easy. Let's press it all the way down. Okay. It's pressed. There it is. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. That looks good. Okay. Now we've got to connect. So what we have to do is sew the right side together. I really mucked this up. Hold on a minute. How in the world? Let me see what it says. Hold on. So the next C rectangle, right sides together. Right sides together. So we're going to go down one edge. Okay. One edge. Right sides together. Now my order may be messed up, guys, because of me doing this. I'm not quite sure. Wait a minute. I think I need to do, how did I have this set up? No, I had the plaid in between. Okay, yeah. I had the plaid next to the flowers. No, I had the white. Let's do it like this, next to the flowers. Okay. Confusing. Okay, we're going to be using the iron and the sewing machine, so I'm going to have to make sure my edges are lined up. And you can clip this or pin it. Like I said, I would be a heck of a lot more precise if thank God it doesn't take my iron long to heat up. Okay, here we go. We're sewing the sides together, right sides together. Here we go. I hope this is right. Is this even? No, it is not. Make sure it's even. That one, and then we're going to pull it out and press it. Ta-da. Yay, we're getting there, guys. Okay, do it again, right sides together, and then we'll press them all. I'm not going to press until I'm finished. Okay, this is going here. So we're doing right sides together here. I got to cut the string. Okay, so what you would have done is you would have done what I messed up on. Let me explain. We should have done one of these, one, and then we should have taken each individual strip and sewn it. But you can still do it this way. That's not a problem. You just got to make sure you're lining up what you want lined up where, So, and you got to make sure they're right sides together. So we fixed it, guys. It did kind of throw me a minute, didn't it? I'm like, wait, I didn't do that right. A lot of my problem is I need to really read first before I start. And you may have to line up as you go if you're not quick. Just keep lining it up. Now the tricky part is going to be the seams, ironing the seams, because my seams, I think they were supposed to be a little thicker. We did it. There it is. Now we're ready to iron. So as you see, all the seams are in the back there looking, what the heck happened here? Something's not right over here. Hold on, guys. I got a mess. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, so right sides together. If you mess up, just make sure you do right side together. Yeah, one of my stitches started coming out. I don't know why. Let's catch it corner. Of course it did. I fixed it. All right. So there we have it. Let's get over here and unplug the sewing machine and get ready to sew our seams. Let me see what it says about, sew our seams, iron our seams. Let me see what it says about, it says, press the seam to one side or open. Okay. So you could either open them like this, which I think is what I'm going to do, and press them like that. Or you could press it to one side like this, which would probably be easier. But I think I'm going to press mine open because I think it looks nice. So get over to your pressing area. And you know I have the portable ironing board, but if you don't have an ironing board, if you're in a small space, I have a great idea for you. You put down one of those drying dish mats on top of a table. This is my serger table. And you can iron on top of it. Now, is it going to be perfection? No, but I don't know if I can sew this open because they're all kind of small. You know what? We're just gonna do one side. It's just gonna be easier to do that. But for future, I may open my seams. Apparently, I can't talk today. Hold on a minute. I've got a gather here that's jacked up. Goodness gracious. Got a problem here. I don't know what that's doing. But we're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna have all my seams going in the same direction. Is what I think. I think they're all gonna lay flat this way. So let's just let it sit there a minute. Yeah, they're going to go this way, all going that way. I think that'll be better. So let me just get that right there. That looks good. Let's move on. I don't know. Mine are very uneven. So I hope that doesn't make a huge difference, but it may. It may, guys. It may. I don't know. We'll see. I hope you can see. I'm going to show it to you anyway. And we're just pressing to make sure it's nice and flat. And like I said, you can open your seams and press them that way. It's all a preference. Beautiful. There we are. I can't believe we sewed our strips together. I'm so excited. Okay, so that was the next step. Let's see here. So we can get our pen. And we can, it says, okay, we did the pressing of the seam, we did the sewing of the right sides together, and we pressed the seam to one side. Repeat this for all of them. We did that. So here we go. Okay, so, oh, shoot, I almost hurt myself. Caught it in time. I forgot the iron's still on. Dang. Okay, let's see what she's saying next. Step 2, if your rectangle is not exactly what size, in most cases it won't be, trim it to size. It's supposed to be 6.5 across, 9 inches high. Okay, so let me bring you back over here and let's see how far off I am. I don't know. So 6.5 inches across. Get off of that. 6.5 inches across. Okay, so it's just slightly over. Okay, so it's not. So let's mark this way. Wait, that's not 6.5, you silly girl. There we go. 6.5 is right here. 6.5 across. So let me put a line there so I know what I'm doing here. Okay. 6.5 across, 9 high. I think this is where I'm going to run into the problem. I can't believe it, guys. I'm right at 9 high. You've got to be kidding me. I don't know how that happened because I did not think I was correct, but we are too much here. So let's go over here. Now, how's that? That's going to take the whole part. I can't do that because it's going to take off my whole strip. Hold on. We got a snag, guys. 6.5 wide. I mean, that takes off my whole strip. I don't think I'm going to follow that direction. I'm not kidding because I will lose this whole area. If I go 6.5, I'll lose my 6 strip. Okay, we're ignoring that. Let's erase that chalk. We're going to just go with it like we have it. We're going to find out what happens if your measurements are off, but it's only slightly off, and I'm not cutting this because then I'll lose my whole last strip. So we're going to keep it. I'm pretty close anyway, so we're going to leave it. Okay, let's just check it off anyway. All right, slide it very close to the end of the unit, cut along the edge of the ruler, clean square edge. Okay, but I will make them clean and square. Okay, so let's do clean square edges, okay? So I'm going to go ahead to the very edge of my fabric because I do have a few pieces that are too long at the top. So we will go ahead and remove those and make a nice square. Got a little piece here too. Like it's like barely. Okay, left that. That side's pretty. Let's go to this side. We're just trimming enough to make it really nice and square and straight. Let me move around. Hold on, guys. Moving around. Okay, so we can make it nice and straight. Let's line it up with my cutting board because it's a little bit off on that side. Is it? No, that side's straight. Okay, I know the bottom's off. Yep, just slightly. Slightly. Okay. Okay. And we've already done the other side. We got it. Okay. Everything's straight now. All right, back to where we were. So we trimmed that. Let's check that off the list. Okay. Everything's trimmed, and there we are. We completed this page. Let's move on. Okay, let me read this first to you guys. Okay. Use your ruler to cut 4 2-inch sections from the unit to yield 4 2-inch by 6.5-inch strip units. Make sure to measure 2 inches from the squared edge. Okay, so it shows you right here. 2 inches, you're going to slice there, 2 inches, slice across, 2 inches, and 2 inches. Okay, so we're just cutting across. Okay, so use your ruler to cut 2. So they'll look smaller like this. Okay, I got it. Okay, how many do I need? 4. 4. Okay, here we go. Cutting again, guys. Here we go. So 2.5 inches wide. I mean long. So 2.5 inches. Lay it straight. Okay. Let's make sure it's straight along the line here. It's not. Lay it straight. 2.5 inches. So 2.5 is right here. Okay. So 2.5. I'm going to stand up for this. All right. And come over here. Make sure it's straight. It won't show you. I'm going to move my card out the way so I've got a little more room here. Much better, guys, right? Okay, so 2.5. We've measured it. We marked it. Where's my mark? Here it is, right here. So I'm going to go right here. I don't want to move my fabric too much, so I'm just kind of marking that. Okay. There has to be 4. 4 of them. I'm not going to have enough. Yeah. This is where it's important that, see, this is where you could really legitimately adjust your pattern. And I think I'm going to have to, because I'm not going to have enough for my 4th block because my measurements are off. So what's so funny about this, and I'm just going to share this with you. So if I do 2 inches, I'll have plenty. So I'm taking out the 1/2 inch. I mean, I don't know what it's going to do to my pattern, but I've got to be able to cut. I've got to be able to have enough fabric to, enough. So I'm going to have to change my pattern. Okay, I've got it. So we're going to cut here. So I'm doing 2 inches instead of what they told me to do. I don't know how it's going to come out, but if I did what they told me to do, I wouldn't have enough room once again. So here we go. I think it'll still come out fine. There's 1. 2. 2. Yeah. That's not right. The first one we got, hold on, guys. I marked this one right. 2 inches. So basically, I improvised and I took a 1/2 inch off of the pattern. I don't know if it's going to cause a problem later. We'll find out. But what I was going to say is it reminds me of accounting. It reminds me of balancing or reconciling books. It's like once you're off, then the whole thing's off. And so once your figures are off, you know, it carries forward to the rest of your financial paperwork. And so it looks like this is going to be similar to that. Okay, now I have enough fabric. Now it should be good. 2. And we need 4. I'm actually going to have oops, change a little bit in there. So don't feel bad. Like, I mean, mine's going to be slightly off. Don't feel bad if you're just slightly off, because it is our first time. I mean, as you can see, these are not perfect. Well, I'm going to have an extra. It looks like, yeah, I'm going to have an extra bit. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so hold on. 2. And you also want to make sure your ruler's flat and that it's okay, it's not bad. Had a little excess there. We'll save those for something because they're awfully cute. Okay. We did it. Phew. I was scared of that part. And don't let it intimidate you. It's like when you first read the instructions, it's kind of like what? But, and don't worry about if they're not all perfectly together straight. But this is what you should end up with. You should end up with 4 of these. Okay. So we got that. So let's tick that off. Making you really. We did that. Gather the strips and 4. Gather the strips units you just created and for a 2 rectangles. All right. So we got to grab our other rectangles, which are over here. Hold on. These are our A2 rectangles. Okay. Out of the polka dots. Okay. Now what are we doing? Sew each strip unit to an A2. Okay. Right sides together to make a total of 4. So we're going to put right sides together and we're going to sew one side together. Okay. And we're going to do all 4. Okay. So bringing you back over here just a minute. Let's move this over. Okay. It's like all this chalk everywhere. I'm going to have some serious cleanup afterwards. Okay. So plug in our sewing machine. Let's get ready. Oh, I'm getting excited. It's a really fun thing. It's like putting a puzzle together. It's like doing a puzzle, isn't it, guys? Let me know in the comments how you feel about quilting so far. I mean, this is really kind of cool. And you don't have to follow the pattern to be exact. But it's probably going to cause a few little issues down the road, but you can improvise when you get to those. That's part of learning anyway. Okay, so we're sewing right sides together. Here we go. And I've got a little piece here, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with it. So we're going to sew each strip onto each strip unit to an A2 rectangle lengthwise, just like we did lengthwise, and right sides together to make a total of 4 units. Okay. Press seams of each toward the A2 rectangle. Okay, and then they give you the measurements, what it should measure. And then this will be probably the end of this video. And then we'll do, the next one will be assembling our block on the next one. Okay, here we go. So, right. So, and I'm letting my seams go in one direction. This way. Okay. So, I'm just going to keep going, actually. Do the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to keep going. Okay. So do the next one. Right sides together. Oh, this one's too short. Oh, dang. Really short. They all that short. Well, hopefully it's correct. I don't know. I'm just going with it. All right, here we go. Next. Right sides together. Something's going on. I don't know. We'll find out if it's going to work. Because, I mean, mine are just short. I don't think they're supposed to be the same size. I'm just saying. See? And the last one. Right sides together. Sides together. Feel free to comment below. Like, what are you having problems with, or what are you having problems with following anything in the book, or is it all same? Be flowing pretty good, or pretty even? Like, what's your opinion? Just by watching, some of you may even have the kids following along. I don't know. But maybe you have it laying around and you never, or maybe some of you may be interested in ordering it. So now you should have this. We're going to cut them apart. And I have learned so many new techniques today. I'm proud of myself. Really am, guys. I didn't even know how to sew them like that. Like, I was afraid of my machine. Like, I didn't even know how to sew the strips like that, where you can just sew them at the same time and then cut them. I didn't know that. Okay, so we've got them. It's time to iron. All right, so I'm going to move you. I'm going to keep you right there, actually, and let's see what it says. Gather them, sew each strip. We did that. Press the seams toward the A2. Let's check off these two. Press the seams to each unit toward the A2 rectangle. Again, I don't know how much that really means to specifically press them that direction, but we're going to do what he says. A2 is going to be the polka dots. So we're going to press toward polka dots. So we'll press towards here. So I'm going to turn it up, which mine are pretty much going that direction anyway, so let's plug the iron in. So while the iron's heating up, let's look at something. This is gonna be in a minute after we press these and I show them to you. This is gonna be the end of this video, number 3. But the last video is when we will assemble the block, and that will be the end of it. So video 4 will be assembling the block, and that is so exciting. We'll assemble our block and sew it together, and that's it. We will be done. Aren't you excited, guys? Okay, so let's get this part done. And I've just got a feeling that this is really, and you can sew these little seams open, which is probably going to be easier. But we're sewing toward, we're ironing towards, I'm going to open these seams. I think that's going to be nicer. Where's my pick? See, I've really made some boo-boos though. I mean, some of my seams I can open, some I can't. They're really small. And some I can open and press them open. But it's still okay. This is one of the best tools ever, just to use your your seam remover and use it as a pointer. I mean, it just really is. So, there we have it. There's one. There's two. I think turning those seams is not as easy as you think. Like, I don't know. Just feel like it looks like I went a little far on this. This one. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to open up my little seams here in the center just because I think it would lay nicer, but I'm not quite sure it's going to work. Some of my seams are a little smaller. Then, I'm sorry my back is to you. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so bad at this video thing. So I have to say to you guys, thanks for putting up with me, because I know it's not easy to see what I'm doing. I wish I had an above camera, like all these fancy people that know how to do that. I just probably could learn off of YouTube. I just already, it's hard enough for me to focus on trying to sew and make a video. So I just don't know. Camera angles are very important, but I'm going to show it to you. And so you can see. Okay, so what I've been doing is opening, I guess this is better to show you. I'm trying to open these little seams in the back, on the back side. So that's what I've done. But again, and remember you're pressing towards the polka dots. Well, the other polka dots. There's actually 2 sets of polka dots. I don't know why I'm even trying to open these seams. They're not doing a good job. Some of them are just too small to open them. It would really be nice to open them up, but they're not all going to do that. So I think the majority of my quilting from this point on is probably going to be, for a while at least, is probably going to be just rolling flat seam, or just ironing flat seams in one direction, because it's too hard for me to do that. One more to go. One more to go, guys. One more to go. And I'm excited for our next video because we're going to be putting it all together like a puzzle. And then we'll be able to celebrate when we've completed it. So it's really going to be an experience. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I can't wait. I think the next one we're going to do after this is the mug rug. I need a mug rug for my desk here in my office sewing room, office/sewing room. And I think we're going to make that next. We're going to skip ahead to that project. Okay, they're all done. They are all pressed. They're cooling. Let's unplug the iron so I don't forget it. So what you end up with is 4 sets like this. They're going to be slightly shorter. These should be slightly shorter than these. At first I thought I made a mistake, but no, that's the way they're supposed to be. Okay, so this is how they'll look. Again, when you're pressing the back side, you can open your seam up, or you can press towards this way. You can open these up, or you can just go in one direction. That is entirely up to you. All the stitching we have done has been using a number 2 on my machine, which is a running stitch. And we've been using a number 4 tension, and I've used white thread and a blue jean needle, which I really probably don't need the blue jean needle, but I love the blue jean needle. So, all right, guys, I am going to take a break, change my needle out, and we'll come back for the final last episode. Make sure you've checked all your boxes off if you followed along, if you wrote down instructions, whatever you chose to do or not. Make sure you checked everything off, because the next thing is assembling the block, and I cannot wait, because that is the last step, guys. And once we've completed that, then we will be ready to make a mug rug, which will be our next project. Actually, the next project is supposed to be the pot holder. We might make the pot holder, and I might just use it as a mug rug. All right, guys. See you next time for part 4. I'm going to lose track of all these parts of these videos. For part 4, to put it together and finish our project. All right, guys, this is Amy with Rags and Stitches. Keep sewing. See you next time. Bye.